You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments below, and be sure to smash that like button. LSU is back on the practice field Tuesday, their penultimate practice of spring. The last practice of spring will be on Thursday, and at that point there'll be player media availability. Today was the last time Brian Kelly met with reporters. And on this day, by the way, Hunt Palmer had the honors of covering practice today for us at LouisianaSports.net. So if you want to go get Hunt's practice report, it's up. It's free. It's at the top of the homepage at LouisianaSports.net. Of note were two pretty significant returnees. We saw Colin Hurley on Saturday out at the spring scrimmage. He wasn't participating, but he was back. Hurley's family then issued a statement saying Hurley's fully recovered. So great to see Colin Hurley back in Baton Rouge. And today he was back in uniform, Tuesday I should say, back in uniform, and Brian Kelly discussed getting Hurley back under center.
It was great to see Colin out there today. He was involved in, and you guys saw, he was involved in some of the one-on-ones, and man, he looks great physically. He's got an unbelievably strong arm. It was just great to have him back out there. And just to have him here on campus is just a blessing to get that young man back here and be in the kind of physical condition that he is just exciting.
Hurley is a guy that I think has been running Hurley's a guy that early enrolled a year ago and redshirted his first season in Baton Rouge, and by all accounts, is a long way to go. Talk with folks within the program, but you understand that's also a guy that showed up on campus at 16 years old. Naturally, it's a long way to go. So the missing spring is not ideal for a guy that needs all the reps, all the opportunities. But obviously, Paramount was going to get healthy after a very serious car wreck. So what is paramount and most important is that he's healthy, he's recovered. That's awesome. Now you can get him back in the fold. It'll be interesting to see how and where he fits into the mix because you brought in Michael Van Buren, as we all know, is going to be the backup this year. And then you move Juwan Johnson back to quarterback. He's got a very legitimate role on this team, as Brian Kelly talked about and showed us over the weekend. So Colin Hurley, great to see him back out there. What his future at quarterback at LSU will be is going to be interesting. But considering we see Garrett Nussmeier wait until his fourth year for an opportunity to play, now playing fourth and fifth year, you don't rule anything out because there's just so much fluidity at that position in college football. But 2025 likely isn't going to be the year we see Colin Hurley make any type of a move for playing time. But could he be in the mix in 2026, provided he's here? It's worth watching, but most importantly, great to see. The other thing that was significant on Tuesdays that Jacobian Guillory was in full pads and going through contact. Remember, the last time we got to see that, now, Guillory did not go through the spring scrimmage on Saturday, but the last time the media got to watch practice, Guillory was out there in pads, but just doing some individual work. This time he was actually going through contact, which in 6 months removed from a torn Achilles for a dude that's 330 pounds, that's pretty awesome and ahead of timeline, meaning by the time you get to fall camp, he should be 100% ready to roll. One other guy that we've seen injured, who's coming off of an injury and has been eased through, is Nic Anderson, the Oklahoma wide receiver transfer. And I loved this from Brian Kelly because Anderson was the guy that was the top receiver get in the portal. Maybe right alongside with Patrick Payton as the top overall get in the portal. But it's been a quiet spring because that soft tissue quad injury that cost Nic Anderson a bulk of this past football season is what slowed him in spring. But he was full contact Saturday in the spring scrimmage. Matter of fact, like he caught a ball in the flat and fought through a tackle and was taken to the ground after a short gain. And he was out there running again. Like one of the near highlight plays Saturday was he burned DJ Pickett on a go ball, and Michael Van Buren just overthrew him. I mean, a better ball, and I mean, he had Pickett burned by 3-4 steps. And look, Pickett's going to be fine, but it goes to show the explosive ability that Nic Anderson has. And it's been slow through this spring because he's coming off injury, which Brian Kelly discussed.
I think he was a little slowed by an injury that was lingering. We just wanted to be patient with him. Nick's a smart kid. He knows his body. He's not a guy that you have to push and say, hey, get out there. When he's ready, he's going to go compete. I think he just has a maturity about him that you don't have to worry about. And as he's gotten healthy, you can see the kind of presence that he has. He's big, he's physical, he's athletic. I'm excited about him. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to win some key one-on-one matchups for us with his physicality, in particular some of those one-on-one key third down matchups that you need. So it's nice to see him rounding into form as we get late here into spring practice.
So you're talking about a guy who had a very limited impact at Oklahoma because of injury. But in 2023, 38 catches, 798 yards, 10 touchdowns, 21 yards per reception. Let me say that again for you. He had 38 catches, 10 touchdowns. He averaged 21 yards per reception. Nic Anderson is a home run hitter. If you can get him healthy, keep him healthy out there for 12, 13, 14, 15 games potentially, he's going to be one to watch. And one more from Brian Kelly. It was sort of his assessment now that he had time to watch film from Saturday's open spring scrimmage. And we got his reaction immediately after. But here's what he said now with some time to digest.
Just great evaluations on, defensive line, offensive line, the safety play. I could go across the board in a number of different areas where we felt really good. Running the football, clearly there's a presence at the edge position for us. It was a good day for us to evaluate all of the positions and know what our strengths and weaknesses are and what we need to continue to develop within our program. And, we walk away from that with even a better knowledge of where we've got to move some guys around in special teams, because I think that that's going to be a dynamic group for us. And that's going to help us win some football games.
Long way to go till you get to Labor Day weekend, but spring is a big part of that. And you can tell Brian Kelly likes the work that the group has done. There's one practice left on Thursday, and then they'll pack it up till June workouts and hit the practice field at the beginning of August. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact, and be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.